name's Portia.
Hi, Portia. Great.
And so during your, I don't even know, during your keynote speaking,
Yes.
I did notice that you're very passionate about what you're doing, which is, it's sort of a relief because you don't really notice that passion with most people now. And it's very lovely to see somebody that's just so passionate.
Thank you.
But I have a couple of questions I'd like to ask you.
Yes.
Okay? And I'd like to know, would you say that your gift to the world is letting people realize their gifts?
Yes.
You did talk a lot about how people were born, with gifts that we have to discover. So, would you say that is one of your gifts?
Yeah, well, yes, one of my most important gifts I realize is to help people, help children to see what's inside of them. That's very, very important. Because if you are having difficulty seeing what's inside of you, you will have difficulty seeing what's ahead of you. And so they go together. I really believe that we're born with the gift called potential. Teaching is not my gift. The potential I have inside me is my gift, which gives me everything I need to become a teacher or a difference maker, I like to say. So everyone is born with that gift, but not everyone develops it.
And so, speaking of gifts, if you could give any advice to any teacher to help them with any sort of career that they're looking forward to help their students, what would it be? Because we know as students that our teachers are trying to make a difference.
Yes.
But what would you do to kind of help the teachers realize that for the students?
Okay, first of all, to all the teachers out there, when those children walk through the doors, the main door of the school, they enter wearing a mask. They're wearing a mask. And it's your job to get behind that mask, to get to know that student as a person and as a student. Okay? And it's very difficult to teach them if you don't know them. So you need to develop a profile of every child as a student. What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? What are their goals? What are their dreams? What are their fears? You need to get to know them. And as a student, and then also as a person. So you need to connect with them. You need to find a way to interact with them, other than around the reading assignment, the writing assignment, the math assignment. Children need that. And until you're able to get to know them as a person and as a student, it's very, very difficult to teach them. The other thing I'm going to say to teachers, other than getting behind that mask, is until children know that you care, they won't care about what you say. So you need to do things to communicate and to demonstrate that you care. They need to know that you care unconditionally. You can't stop caring when they do something wrong. Our children know that you're there for them whether they're wrong or they're right. So you need to get to know them. You need to communicate and demonstrate you care. And when you do both those things, guess what you do? You inspire them. And that's your job as a teacher. That is your job as a coach. That is your job as a parent. And I know the parent job it's not an easy job, and even teaching too. But it's our job to inspire them. So get to know them, communicate, demonstrate you care, and I know you will inspire them the same way Terry Fox inspires us every year to walk and to get money to follow his dream. Is that okay? That's my message to teachers. And by the way, another thing with teaching is that I know in teaching, we measure success by grades. There's more to teaching than that. It's about growing potential. It's about growing potential. Anyway, sorry, let me stop there.
That's fine. And I know a big thing with teachers especially is you have a fine line where you have to know your student as a person, but you can't cross the line and know them, know so much about them that you go from being like a professional setting to more of a professional.
Yeah.
There's a very big stuff.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. It's we are professionals, and we must respect individuals, see their lines and their boundaries. children, they need to know what the lines are and where the boundaries are. And as an adult, we too need to know where the lines are, where the boundaries are. Okay? Getting to know them means that, I know what you do on the weekend. I know you're playing hockey, or you're in a gymnastics club. When I see you, how did it go? I know you had some competition on Saturday. How did it go? You know what I mean? Showing some interest in you.
Do you think it's easier, do you think it's harder for teachers in bigger cities to try and get to know all their students? Because I come from a very small town of only 150 students in my entire high school. So teachers would know us all, because there's only 100, well actually no, there's 130 of us. But you've taught in massive schools with thousands of students. How can you possibly know all of it?
Well, many teachers are assigned to a group of students. You're not assigned to all 500. Even though you're indirectly responsible for 500, but if you're teaching 100, those 100 you should get to know. You might not know them on the first day, but over time you'll get to know them. And you better get to know them as a student. The other part of it will take time, and that's why we have advisor-advisee program. We have different activities around the school where it lends itself for the adults in the building to get to know the children. And it's not just the teachers. It might be the support staff, include the secretary, the caretakers. They're all there for the students.
So do you think those in city schools have a better chance of seeing the potential, of getting to know their potential than those in rural schools?
No, I think that all schools, this is my own personal belief, that every school, their main job, their main responsibility is to grow the potential of the children in front of them. That's their job. Whether you're in a rural area or an urban area or a big city school or a small city school, all the children who walk through those doors, they're there for us to help them to see their potential, and it's our job to create the environment for them to grow that potential. My mom and dad. They say the home is the first school and your parents are the first teachers. Well, my parents created a very good school, and they were very good teachers. And they gave us time, they gave us love and emotional support, and discipline. We knew the boundaries, you know what I mean? And they always provided for us, not only food and shelter, but when we needed the resources to explore those interests of ours, they found a way to do it. I bet you it wasn't always easy. So my parents, I'm going to say, are the ones who had the greatest influence in my life.
And the last question I have for you is actually just one that I thought would be interesting. You did say you like to read a lot, and I know you have to read. And I was just wondering if you'd like to recommend any books.
Any books?
Yeah. And right now I'm reading How to Build Wealth.
Okay, I read, first of all, I read the New York Times a lot. I think I pay $15 a month. I have the app, and I read all the news, and there's an assortment of things there. I read about it. There's an education section, a business section. I find now that's, I don't have the time to read lengthy books, but I read every day. I'm on there first thing in the morning, and I read all the different articles about children, about teaching, and I'm offered all information around new research. So that's what I'm reading now. Many of the books I read are around teaching. Which one? I can look in here and tell you. I usually make a list of books that I need to purchase when I go to Indigo. If I can, so I'm not necessarily reading one now because I read the New York Times. And I have a journal. You see this journal? And so when I read, I make notes. And I'll show you. It says New York Times. How a tapestry of care helps our teens succeed. How a tapestry of care helps teens succeed. So this is probably better than the book I'm going to read. It's a program about how they're making a difference in the lives of teenagers. Kids who are starting high school and they're having great difficulty academically, and some of them socially, economically. And so this article was just about how this program is working. And I sort of spoke about it a little bit today.
It's interesting the fact that you're no longer teaching or but you still do keep up with research. So are you planning on taking the things you're reading now and putting them into the things you're talking about? Because I know you're going to school, right?
Yes, yeah. Because sometimes it's nice to be able to say, this is what the research is saying. It supports what I believe. It supports what I just said. So sometimes I will cite research documents. I'll use them in my presentation. Plus, it's also good for me too. It sort of strengthened my case, in terms of my beliefs, about children, your potential, and what children need to succeed and to achieve. And and plus, as a speaker, I'm practicing every day. The training I talked about, remember the 4 T's I talked about? Whatever you want to be good at, you make time, you do the tasks, and you train, and you must be a good teammate. And so the training, I do a lot of training. So the reading I do today is supports that. And I find now sometimes it might be difficult with the time to read books, so I read the articles in New York Times. Plus, there's a lot of variety there. Yeah.